Hi everybody, welcome to a Furry Tuesday? Yeah. It doesn't sound as good as Furry Friday, but we're here for our second day of Hop University. Yesterday was Nicole and Bailey talking to you guys. Today, it is us.
Yesterday we did our little intro into Beyond the Bag. Is that what we're calling it? Okay, there we go.
Beyond the Bag, Kibble Masterclass.
There we go. So yeah, we did our little intro day yesterday. You can find that. It's been posted up on our YouTube channel. So if you missed that, you can hop over there. See what I did there? Hop over there.
Nice.
And watch that one, or you can watch this one and then go watch that one.
Yeah.
Whatever works for you. You have the pamphlet.
I do.
We can show everybody.
We have the workbook as per usual, which you can go onto the website. Down a little ways is a Hop U button. Click on there. You get access to all the workbooks for all of the Hop University classes. So we've got this one up today. We finished, that's the exam. Whoa, don't show that one. We have the workbook. We did yesterday. We had some things to go over. And today we're talking all about choices. So we can fill in this guy kind of as we go. Can give this a print or download as a PDF, and you can do it right on your computer. But some people, like myself, get extra, learn a little bit better with a guide.
We're lucky it's not laminated.
God, it should be laminated. No, I'm just kidding. Don't hear me in the back, Carly, please. But yeah, so you can download the workbook and work along with us. You can, at the back is a notes and questions section. On the 5th day, we'll be answering all of your questions, so you can keep a tally there, especially if we miss you in the comments day to day. There's also a final exam for this class. Just something fun, a little review, some multiple choice questions, some true and false. I just like exams, so I thought it would be fun to incorporate it into the Hop University.
Is it out though yet?
No, it will not be available. The link won't go live until Friday at 2 p.m. right before we start. So here's that. Grab the workbook. You can check us out on YouTube. I'll download this one as well. And then at the very end, we'll have the whole playlist up for you guys if you missed anything, if you want to go rewatch something, if the other two are interesting, you can watch those as well. But yeah, very excited. Like Nicole said, yesterday you guys talked about kind of an overview of the course. What is Kibble? Because that's what we're talking about. It is a Kibble Masterclass. So wanted to get everyone up on the same page. What's the difference between kibble and a dry food? What the heck are we going to be talking about this week? Give a bit of a foundation before we get right into it. Today we want to talk about choices. So you go into the supermarket, you come into our store, and there's a wall of choices.
Lots of food.
There's stuff out there for you. Nicole and Bailey touched a little bit on some marketing, that a big component of the pet food industry is marketing. Just like our stuff is marketed to us, pet food is also marketed to us. Our pets don't care if the bag is shiny or colorful or any of that kind of stuff. We care. We have the, I like pretty things. I go for things that are pretty. Oh, look at that new cookie. Oh, it's got such cool packaging. Same with our pets. It's marketed toward us, so we want to kind of
be aware
of what the choices are, what the choices mean, the difference between, we'll go through like what's a breed specific food, what does that mean? What's a size specific food, what does that mean? What's a senior versus a puppy versus an adult? What are all of these choices that we're getting thrown at us, and you know, how
then we can make informed decisions.
Yes,
at the
then
end of
we
the
can
day.
make informed decisions. That is exactly what I was going for, and I have no words to describe that. So
okay, that's what I'm here for.
Nice. Bailey and I always say that you are a rock. You keep us, keep us on
focused.
track. You keep us focused and on track. So this will be a very productive day today. So we can get started. I've got my big cheat sheet here because I got a giant example to go through. But I guess the first thing we can talk about is breed and size specific food, because I think that gets a lot of people confused when they come in and they see Open Farm and they're like, well, I have a small dog or I have a big dog and I don't see those formulas here. So what is a breed and size specific food? What does that mean? I have a Purina Pro Plan large breed and small breed example. I got there I'm interested, how can I grab the PDF? If you go onto our website, houseofpaws.com, and you go scroll down to Hop You, click the button. There will be a in progress Beyond the Bag Kibble Masterclass. Click into that product, and there's a little link to Get Workbook here, a little blue hyperlink that'll give you the PDF so you can follow along.
I think our website link is linked on here, TikTok as well.
Oh,
on our
perfect.
account. So you can just go to our profile page and find our website there.
Perfect, yeah. So, breed and size specific food. When you get to a grocery store and it says large breed, like Purina Pro Plan has a large breed and a small breed, is there any difference in the back of the bag? No, not really, not at all. The large breed...
Tiny changes.
Tiny changes, very tiny changes, and marketing changes, as is expected. So I have, of course it'll be backwards, and we were running late again, and I was rushing, and I didn't invert the picture.
Customers, we're busy.
We were busy today, which is a good problem to have. But I downloaded each formula. There's a couple of little adjustments, but the big thing is the large breed says, great for large dogs, has added glucosamine, so really good for those big bones and joints. The things that have added glucosamine say source of glucosamine. Those exact same things are in the small breed food. They just don't have the brackets that say source of glucosamine. It's the same breakdown, but we're marketing to that larger breed of dog.
Those ingredients will still have glucosamine, whether it's written in brackets afterward or not.
Yep.
And glucosamine is awesome. For bones and joints for both small and large breed dogs.
Yep.
So they're really just kind of organizing things in a way that draws you into, oh, this is doing something more than just being food.
Yep.
And
I'm showing this piece of paper, it's just white.
It's not helping.
It's not helping at all. But yeah, it draws your attention. It goes, oh, I have a large breed. Obviously, this bag that says large breed is what I need and what I want and what my dog has to have. But the breakdown of the ingredient panel is what we want to look at, what informed consumers should be looking at, and what we want to help you kind of sift through all of the fun marketing details and get to the heart of what it is.
What
are you doing? You're here.
We can only see a tail on the screen. There's a dog.
There's a dog down here.
The reality is we could add glucosamine into any grade A kibble and get those added benefits of having some bone and joint support. So, and it's honestly going to be better so that we know we have a quality kibble first, and then all those supplements we can kind of boost the bowl with. That's Friday's class.
That's Friday.
I'll give you a sneak peek.
Yeah, definitely. And the other thing that the large and small breed kibble manufacturers do is just change the size of the kibble. So the big dog breed has a big chunks, the small breed has small chunks. But as you know, we talk a lot, crunchy doesn't mean better for the teeth. So whether your big dog is crunching on big kibbles or they're swallowing the smaller kibbles, makes no difference. They're getting food into their bellies. They are rippers and swallowers. They're not crunchers and chewers and grinders. So whether we have a big kibble or a small kibble, obviously a little dog has a tiny mouth, so they probably won't be able to eat like a ginormous kibble, but I have never seen a kibble the size of a dog's head before. So typically we're good across the board. If our dog wants to eat it and can eat it, the kibble size really doesn't matter too much.
Essentially, it's more important to look at the back of the bag versus that specification on the front, whether it's large breed or small breed. Want to look at those ingredients and actually see what our dog is consuming and make an informed decision that way versus just looking at that front of the bag.
The next one that we had was, what about cat versus dog specific foods? So we said large breed, small breed doesn't really matter. What about cat versus dog?
Can my cat eat dog food?
Can my cat eat dog food? Can my dog eat cat food? These questions, unfortunately, no. Especially when we're talking about a kibble. The kibbles, like we said yesterday, what is a kibble? It is a highly processed nugget of food which has a premix added on top, which contains fats and things like that we talked about only last 28 days. That premix is made to support the cat or the dog, not both.
It's adding in all those micronutrients,
Yep.
vitamins, minerals, all those things that get cooked out in that high processing, gets added back in the right amounts that AFCO has decided we need to follow.
Yeah.
So they're getting added back in to meet those requirements for a dog or a cat, and those requirements are different for both dogs and cats.
Yeah, they both need 22. They both need 22 amino acids to survive. Dogs make 11, cats make 10. So the others have to be found in the diet. The difference is dogs create taurine themselves, like humans do. We make taurine for our heart. Cats cannot. So cats have to have a food source of taurine in order to have a complete and balanced meal. Dog food does not have a minimum requirement for taurine in food, so we can't be sure that the cat's in the dog, that if a cat is eating dog food, they're getting enough of that essential amino acid.
Is there anything I can help you grab? Just need
Dixie, come.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
The big bag?
Dixie's just gonna follow everyone around today. So yeah, so we can't have a cat eat dog food or a dog eat cat food because kibble, because of that nutrient breakdown, making sure we have the essential amino acids for both of our pets, which is slightly different by that one amino acid. So we want to make sure that if we have a dog, we're feeding a dog. If we have a cat, we're feeding a cat. It won't hurt if they share food every once in a while, but we want to talk about complete and balanced nutrition. We want to talk about giving them the best food to extend their life, and that is going to be a food that's formulated for them. So that was that topic. How do puppies, kitties, adults, and seniors differ? So, do I need a puppy food? Do I need an adult food? Do I need a senior food? What the heck are the differences between all three of those foods? I have what's it called? Something paralysis, where you can't decide between analysis paralysis, where you can't decide between the choices. Is Primal freeze-dried nuggets a good choice for dogs? Yes, we have a Primal freeze-dried. That's an awesome choice for dogs, a complete and balanced meal. It is a freeze-dried food, so it's not a kibble, so it doesn't necessarily fall within our conversation today, but yes, I say that is a pretty good food for your pupper. So we're talking about puppies and kittens, adults and seniors. What the heck is the difference? So for dogs, we want to feed a puppy food for 12 to 18 months, depending on the size of the pupper. If it's a smaller pupper, we can get away with a 12-month puppy food feed. If we are a larger dog, we'll want to stick way closer to that 18-month puppy food. And the difference is puppy food is a little bit higher in fat and protein. So as we're growing, we're making those bones, we're making those joints, we're making all of the important organs, and those require fat and protein in order to build. So the puppy food has a bit of a boost in that department, which is why if we're feeding a kibble, we want to feed a puppy formulated food, just so we're getting enough fat and protein in the diet to accommodate a growing body. Just like when we're kids, we want to eat enough, we want to eat good food to keep our bodies growing. Same with our pets. We want to make sure that we're giving them all of the essentials they need to grow up to be big, strong puppies and kitties. So that's what a puppy food is. An adult food versus a puppy food is just that. The puppy food has some added fat and protein in it, and the difference between those two and senior is that senior recipes tend to have added glucosamine. So we were talking about the large breed food a couple of minutes ago, which says it has more sources of glucosamine in it. But senior formulas in that premix tend to add a bit more glucosamine, not necessarily just glucosamine sources, but the supplement, just pure glucosamine into their recipes. Glucosamine is really great for bones and joints and supporting that whole system, which we know that senior pets can sometimes suffer from bones and joints issues, cartilage degeneration, all of those things. So a senior recipe is going to have that added glucosamine to help support the aging bones and joints. So that would be the difference between senior and the other ones. So if we're feeding a kibble, puppies will want to feed that puppy food. Adults, we can feed the adult food, and seniors, We can feed the senior food, but that is the added glucosamine that's into it. So if we're not feeding a senior food, we can add in that glucosamine ourselves, just like we're talking about if you have a large breed or a breed predisposed to certain bones and joints issues. Feeding a adult food and adding in your own glucosamine is totally fine, especially if we have a dog who has a favorite of something and we're like, I don't think I can, my pup doesn't want to switch over to the senior stuff. You can just add in that yourself. We talk a lot about supplement rotation.
And you can still give then variety as well.
Yes,
proteins.
definitely.
Because a lot of the time the senior blend is only one type of protein or maybe just a couple proteins in the same bag. But by continuing to feed the adult food and continuing to kind of rotate through those proteins, you can give variety and just add that extra glucosamine in. There's also other like joint supplements that can be heavier hitters than just glucosamine. So you could have other options as well for different joint supplements if you just keep feeding the adult food. So just options.
Yeah, there's lots of options. We do highly recommend. There are, as we talked about yesterday, there are other dry options like the Carnivore, which is a air-baked whole food nugget. Those other options don't have age-specific requirements. They don't have a puppy formula and an adult and a senior, because we're getting all of the nutrients from the bones, meat, and organ of what composes it. Whereas because we're adding in that premix on top of a very highly processed food, we need to make sure that we're feeding the right amount of those nutrients, which they've added in specific levels for those specific formulas. So if we have a puppy and we're feeding a kibble, we recommend feeding a puppy formula just to make sure we're giving them all the extra fat and protein that they need to build up their bodies. And like I said, 12 to 18 months, as close as we can stick to the 18 months for all dogs, and especially larger dogs, keeping close to that 18-month on the puppy formula is ideal, just to give them that extra time to grow super huge. We have, so we talked about the puppies, kitties, and seniors. Oh, thank you for answering my question. You are welcome. Keep the questions coming. I'll keep trying to answer them if I glance in time to see it. Next we talk about this one a lot. Grain-free versus grain-inclusive. Another choice on the shelf that you will see is blah, 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 grain-free, blah, 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 or something on the other side will be like grain-inclusive, whole grain. This gets really confusing. I think this is the most confusing choice that pet parents are given. And I think it tops breed-specific. I think it tops senior adult. I think it is one of the things that people come into our store and ask us all the time is, somebody told me that I have to feed this.
There's a lot of controversial things too
Yeah.
around it lately. So
Yes, it seems to come up and go away, and then all of a sudden it's up again. So we wanted to nip it in the bud right now. When we talk about grain-free versus grain-inclusive, we aren't talking about grains. The most important thing we want to talk about is quality protein and taurine. So the grain-free debate is all about DCM, heart condition, and we have a surprise visitor.
Zane wants to make an appearance.
Oh my gosh!
The monster's in the house.
The movie star to boost our viewership with the movie star cameo. So grain-free versus grain-inclusive. The big thing that we hear is, my vet or somebody told me that I need to be feeding a grain-inclusive food or my pet will get a heart condition. We talked just a little while ago about taurine and how it is a heart muscle amino acid. Taurine is what supports and protects and helps the heart. Grains do not have taurine in them. So adding in grains isn't giving our heart more taurine, isn't giving our heart anything to help with its function or with the prevention of a heart disease. What we want to talk about is quality protein and the addition of taurine into the diet, which is why it's so important to make sure that we're giving kitties enough taurine in their diet, because they don't make it. But if we know that we're a breed that's predisposed, it doesn't hurt to add in heart muscle, which is where we find taurine in the hearts of mammals. Most mammals, except kitties, create taurine themselves, and it gets stored in the heart. So if we feed a heart muscle or we feed a taurine supplement, we're giving that heart some extra boost, a little bit of extra help. But grain isn't the monster. The FDA has recanted their statements. They've said that this is not an issue, that grain-free foods don't cause DCM. So That's not the issue. You don't have to worry. You don't have to be scared. If we're feeding a high quality food with quality proteins,
Carly really,
you can
really
see
wants to jump in.
who
over
in here is ready for the debate train, the debate master, the controversy master.
No.
No?
But I did want to say too, because a lot of people who have been told, if you feed a grain-free food, that the legumes prevent taurine absorption. Actually, the research was done in Canada to show that that is not an issue, never has been an issue. Legumes have never prevented taurine absorption, so do not fear that either. Goodbye.
Okay, goodbye. That was a good added. That is a good reminder.
I can't help myself.
You can't. That's okay. The viewers love it.
The other thing with grains is they can be kind of bloaty as well. So
Yeah.
it kind of depends on the dog and things that you'll have to look at for your dog, because they're not necessarily bad. It's just literally depends on your dog. It's the same way I can drink milk or I can't drink milk, sorry. And if Lee wasn't a vegan, Lee could drink milk.
Yeah.
But the lactose doesn't agree with me. So anyways, but it's the same sort of way. Your dog could be fine digesting grains, and then other dogs might get a lot of bloat and a lot of gassiness. You don't like a stinky, farty dog. Not gonna lie, nobody likes that.
A stinky dog.
If you do have a dog that might be having a lot of gas issues and you are feeding a grain-free food or a grain-in food, you might want to consider a grain-free food and see how that goes. It might help with a little bit of that bloating issue that might be going on, because they can't tell us what's going on. So
Yeah,
we gotta
exactly.
kind of see and observe. So
Yeah.
some dogs can handle the grains, some can't. So there's just options. But either way, both are going to be safe for your dog. They're not going to harm them in any way, like we said.
Yeah. So when we're looking,
Those myths are...
yeah, they're done. Busted over and over again. So when you're looking at that wall and you see all of the flashy text, grain-free, grain-inclusive, grain-in, whole grain, know that when we look at the back of the bag, what we want to see is a high-quality food with high protein, low carbs, and balance.
Whole protein.
Whole
You said
protein. Yeah, I said that, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Yeah, I did.
That's
Good.
the big
Keep
thing.
me on track.
Whole proteins.
Yeah,
No
whole proteins. We don't
no
want byproducts.
no meals.
No animal something. What animal's that? No fish something. What fish is that? We want to have a very high quality food, whether or not we see the flashy grain-free, grain-inclusive label on the front. We just want to make sure that we're feeding a high quality, balanced meal to our pets. And that's what we want to give you guys the insight into going through these choices.
I think we said it a lot yesterday, but it's just so that you can go to the store and make informed decisions.
Bailey was in today and said, I think on the live yesterday I said informed a lot. So we tried not to, but we want you to be informed, okay? We want you to make good choices. We want you to make informed choices. And that's what we want. We want to have our pet parents to have all of the information that they possibly can.
Yeah. Otherwise, how can you grow? It's the same way. You got to learn new things. Same thing with your pet food. You're going to learn something new, hopefully, from this week that you can then take and apply next time you go shopping for your dog's kibble.
Yeah, exactly. So we talked about, let's recap, make sure I didn't forget anything. We talked about breed and size specific food. There's really no difference between a large breed, a small breed, a breed for dash hounds, and a breed for Yorkies, and a breed for Rottweilers. It's just pet food in the bag. We talked about cat and dog food and why we should be feeding cats cat food and dogs dog food. We talked about the difference between a puppy and kitten formula, adult formulas, and senior formulas. We talked about the grain debate, if it even is a debate, because it's been debunked a million times. And then we just wanted to go over some ingredients, some tricks of the bag. So we talked a lot about how most of these things we talked about are all marketing. They're all for the packaging of the bag, and not a lot is said actually about what's inside the bag or about the quality of what's going on in the bag. And one of the things that happens on the outside of the bag are tricks. And one of these tricks is ingredient splitting. So when we're looking at the food label, which we will do in depth tomorrow, we're going to be going into it. But for everyone who's already ready to go look at their bag and see if they're getting a breed or size or what's happening on the outside of their bag, one thing you can look for is what's called ingredient splitting, where they'll take typically like corn or rice or peas or wheat, they'll take that whole item and they'll split it up. So now instead of having corn, we'll have cornmeal, we'll have whole grain corn, we'll have ground corn. However they split it into chunks, it makes it so that they can put it further down on the list of ingredients, because our ingredient panel goes from largest to smallest. So most pet parents want to see meat at the front of the ingredient. We have carnivores after all, so seeing meat at the front is really important. But what if corn is more in the bag than the meat does? That doesn't look good on the outside of the bag. So if we can split it into parts, our now mostly corn product looks like it's meat first and corn later, just because we've split up the corn into its parts. Same with rice, it'll be white rice, brown rice, rice bran. And now we've stretched rice out to be smaller pieces so we can put chicken or beef at the front of the ingredient list, when really, if we smushed all of that rice together, if we smushed all of that corn product together, it would sit as the majority in the
corn
front.
food.
It's actually a corn and chicken food, not a chicken and corn food. It's really a rice and lamb, not a lamb and rice food. The second trick of the bag is ingredient swapping, which happens a lot with breed-specific foods and size-specific foods in order to make a new formula, because we've said typically is the exact same thing inside the bag. It's just a different outside. What we do, I don't make it. What they do is they'll take those ingredients and they will swap them. They'll swap them around. So now we have 10% rice, 10% corn, and 10% chicken. We can rotate those 10% around because they equal the same. They are the same amount in the bag, so we can put them first, second, or third, rotate them around, and we have a new formula every time.
So you think the food is technically different if you're reading it like, oh, well, this one seems to have more rice in it, and this one seems to have more corn in it, and then you pick whatever one you choose. Or if it's a small breed versus a large breed, you're like, oh, well, this is why it makes it small. It's because it's in this order instead. But really, it's all the same amount. We just can't see the percentages on their bag or of the order. And they just can move it around and kind of make the formula look different versus just leaving it as is and it's the same thing in each bag.
Yeah, we've just jumbled up the outside of the bag again, made the outside look a little bit different, but what's inside stays the exact same. The last one that we want to talk about that I think a lot of people don't realize is happening on their pet food bags is we'll have hidden chicken.
Oh, yeah.
We'll see a lamb and rice formula. I'm not going to say who makes the lamb and rice formula, but it's a lamb and rice food, and we think my dog has a chicken allergy. Of course I'm going to go with the lamb and rice food. It doesn't have any chicken in it.
Common sense.
Then you look down and you've got chicken fat. Somewhere down lower in the ingredient list. Chicken is cheap. Chicken is in a lot of pet food. And if we put it down far, not me, if they put it down far enough in the bag, we won't notice that it's there. So a lot of formulas have hidden chicken, chicken fat, or even animal fat or animal meal.
We don't even know what that is.
We don't know what animal
What
that
animal is it?
And just because we put lamb at the front and rice after doesn't mean there isn't other things in the bag we just don't notice because we see the first few ingredients. Oh, lamb is first. Excellent. I want meat as the first ingredient. We look down and there's hidden chicken in there. So that are the three things I want to talk about as the tricks of the bag.
Big thing is just make sure we're actually reading that full ingredient list.
Yeah.
Don't always trust just the outside, front side of the bag that says, oh, this is a pork recipe.
Yeah.
When it could have other things in the back there on that ingredient panel. So
Yeah. So we just
be
want to
informed.
be informed. The choices that we see on the shelf, it sometimes looks like there's a massive wall of choices when really, if we look at the back of the bag, if we take a detective's eye and read the labels and see none of the flashy colors, we go in with a microscope, we'd see that really there aren't that many choices because the Dachshund, the Dachshund breed, the Rottweiler breed, the small breed are all kind of the same things. So we want you to be informed for tomorrow when we go into depth, and we are gonna have some bags here that we're gonna go through. We've got a What Grade Is My Kibble worksheet, which we talk about a lot. Anytime someone comments to us and says, what do you think about this food? Or if somebody comes in and is like, I'm feeding this, what do you think about it? We send them to the What Grade Is My Kibble, which there's a PDF online on our website that you can get. We have a little simplified version that will work with you tomorrow on that goes through What Grade Is My Kibble. We can take what we learned today about all of these different choices, go to our bag, read that label, figure out, are we feeding a grade A, which we want to. We all want, especially on our final exam on Friday, we all want A's. Is it a B? Is it a C? Is it a D? Is there an E? Or is it just words F? I don't know. Is it an F? I'm going to grade you all A pluses on your final exam. And we want to be feeding an A plus food to our pets. So that will run us through there.
You can even prepare for tomorrow if you want, because we pop on at 2 p.m.-ish Central Time, as long as we're not dealing with customers right at that exact moment.
Which tends to happen, but we try our best.
But you could even have the bag of kibble that you currently feed with you when you tune in tomorrow, and then you can kind of work through everything that we're going through at the same time. So you can get the first-hand, I don't know, help, I guess?
Yeah, to get hands-on learning. We're not with you, we're not in the same classroom as you, but we can do some hands-on learning together. We'll have our bag, you'll have your bag, and we'll go through the whole thing together.
I won't be here tomorrow to rein everybody in, so I apologize if it gets crazy long.
Well, it is Olivia and I, so hopefully Olivia can keep
Olivia's good.
Can keep me reined in. But Thursday, it's Bailey and I. We may go off the rails. Definitely want to be here for Thursday. But today, I just wanted to mention in the workbook, it goes through what you're feeding currently, what are your reservations about a new food, what category does your pet fit into, what nutritional needs does my pet have. That section was like, are we predisposed to bone and joint issues? Are we predisposed to back injuries or anything like that? Those would be the nutritional needs. And then what are my pet goals? So after everything we said today, now you know, oh, I don't have to feed a small dog food for my small dog. Well, now what are my food goals? What do we want for our pet going forward, so that throughout the class, when we do our evaluation tomorrow, when we talk about transitioning on Thursday and boosting the bowl on Friday, we have kind of like a, what are my goals? What are my thoughts? What am I thinking right now?
We've got a foundation.
We have a foundation. Thank you. One word does good, or whatever that office quote is. I love lots of words. I'm rambly. But anyway, you can do this, and if you have any questions while you're doing this, or you have any questions while you're rewatching it, maybe we went a little bit fast, maybe I talked very fast. I always talk very fast, so if you need to rewatch this, it will be uploaded to YouTube, so you can get all that good info. And then Olivia and I will be here tomorrow to walk you through your specific bag, which I'm really excited for. I love filling in the bubbles and checking off the boxes, and I love doing all of that stuff. So we're gonna have a good time tomorrow. Nicole's Nicole's like, oh my god, oh my god.
I'm just thinking of all the fun that your math. Excited about math, so yeah. I mean, not that I'm not excited about math. I also love math.
You have some more self-control, I think.
It took me 15 minutes, but I processed an order.
Okay, good job.
Farley's filling in while we're talking with you guys. So
This is not good. Be prepared to fix all my mistakes.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for spending a Furry Tuesday with us and tuning in live with us today. We really appreciate it. We're here until 6 today, so if you have any questions that we weren't able to get to, you can always give us a shout. You can give us a call. If you're in Regina, Saskatchewan, come by. We'll be here. We're open again tomorrow, and we'll be live at 2 p.m. To do What Grade Is My Kibble. So thanks, everybody, for coming out, and we really appreciate you.
Bye.
Bye, guys.